Well, good weekend all. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for Friday, and we are now at October 20th, 2023. This is your weekly edition, so we'll be looking at weekly charts. And I think my Thursday night commentary to you was on the money, that we're in a geopolitical market, not a trending market one way or the other off of world events of economics and the like. I know you'd like to think that, but you're not. You're worried, and you should be. Is the U.S. going to be dragged into a war? Does Israel go in and fight the ground game? And what do they do about the tunnels? And we saw 2 hostages released today, U.S. hostages, of course, not Israeli hostages. And what does that mean? Because there's other countries. What's going on with everybody talking to Qatar, that's talking to Hamas, and are they going to hold back? Because the pressure on Israel's got to be tremendous. Don't go in, we're getting hostages released, don't do this. We've yet to see any of the much needed support for the innocent Palestinians, and there's plenty of them, that need the food, the water, the medicine. Those trucks haven't got in. We keep hearing they were supposed to go today. Well, they didn't. Now maybe they'll go tomorrow, and I'm hoping they do. Maybe that was part of the release program to get some of that in there for the people. We'll hear about more churches get struck by missiles. The missile fire won't stop. But how do you go in and understand this? You want to bring in the trucks, you got to stop firing the missiles. How do you make sure that what's on the trucks first is just the medicine, the food, and not arms? How do you make sure it gets in the hands of the people that need it, not in Hamas? I don't have the answers to that. What I do know is we keep hearing that now it was a Greek Orthodox church that got fired upon, and the reason was Hamas was supposedly, again, I'm not there, I don't know, supposedly they had taken up their quarter. Well, why aren't the churches throwing these people out? Why aren't the people throwing Hamas out? I mean, there's something not right. There's a mass of people. There's how many millions of people there, and Hamas is a small force. I don't get it sometimes. I don't understand the logic. The cities are being leveled, and you can't get rid of 3,000 fighters. The people are pretty good at going in the streets and rioting. What is wrong with taking on Hamas? I just don't get it. In America, everybody takes on everybody. You know that. It gets crazy. All right, so much for that. But that's what you're trading. You're not trading charts. You're not trading is the Fed on hold, interest rates, what's going there. I understand the logic of all that. The hardest part to trade, and I've done this 54 years, it is not my first rodeo of trading a geopolitical event. It is the hardest event to trade because as fast as they happen, normally they shut off that fast and you're left holding the bag. I use the word normal. This may not be the normal event. It's hard to tell. If we wake up in the morning, I'll give you the worst case scenario. You wake up Saturday, Sunday, and then a U.S. ship is sunk by some missile from God knows who. Everybody's going to look at Iran. The U.S. gets dragged in. You know the game, all right? That's all it would take, and then where are you? That's what people are nervous about. So the gold gets its bid off of that. Crude was getting a bid, and cooler heads prevailed, I guess, over late in the day, and the market corrected itself. We went to 5% interest rates this week, and often you get to a magic number and a market backs away. Sometimes that number is a 4.5, sometimes it's a 4 3/4, but you haven't been at 5% on some of these key interest rates. You went there. 10-year finally hit it. We've been over that in the 2 and the 5s, but you finally got there and the market backed away right away. Backing away doesn't mean it's changed its trend. It meant that a lot of people that were looking for the 5 got there. I'll give you the example of that. This summer, when in the 210, I was looking for 100. I think it went to 107 or 110, and I was telling clients here, I said, that's all I was looking for, folks. It's down to 17 or 18 now. I wasn't smart enough to go short. That's what I was looking on the upside, and all I cared about, that was my counts. That's all I thought it was worth. And as it turned out, that was it. Well, you get caught holding bags sometimes when you hold it too long. When we look at the gold market, if you go to the monthly chart, it has done its job. It has stayed over this for a long time. All of 2023, the market has stayed over it. But how do you trade a monthly chart? It's rough enough on weekly if a market goes against you. When we come on this chart for the weekly together, if you come back with me right here, the market was 1830 on October 6th, 2 weeks ago. You came up, you had not turned bullish last week. All you did is you went and you magically stopped at the resistance point, the 18-week. This week, the market accelerated and went through because the market is still anticipating that Israel's going to go in and that the bloodbath will begin and other events will take place because of that, one way or the other. So the market up another 3%. Is it going to be able to get to the old 2024? It's not worth it off the inflation story. The only thing moving this market is the war story. Keep that in the back of your mind. When you take a look at the weekly bar chart, you can see just how it's working itself out. The market's no longer in that downtrend. It held, when you look back at it and you didn't know that there's a world event. Think about what I'm saying here. The market breaks down, and how often do you hear me say to you, you don't want to press the market beyond key numbers. Generally, the first test of a 100-day will stop the break. It doesn't mean it's stopping it permanently. If it goes through it, is there another key number? Often it's the Bollinger Band or the 200-week. It got to the 200-week. If we bring in the Bollinger Band, I thought the market was going to hold there. It went but 1 week beyond it. The work wasn't off. Did I see it snapping back like that? Of course not. Not playing the war, but I'm smart enough to tell you I understand what the game is now. And the resistance should be the upper Bollinger Band, because normally you'll get there and you get a reaction. Do I know what it'll do if that scenario I gave you, that Israel goes in and God forbid a U.S. ship is attacked and sunk? I don't know where this all leads. I know as much as the man in the moon, okay? That's what you have to be nervous about. When you take a look at momentum, up. The market held. The resistance should be against the 2000 level. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, it tried on the daily to reverse for the silver gaining on gold until the war situation got worse, and then it reversed back, and that's what it's still doing. So silver still on the weekly chart, still substantially losing to the gold market. Here's the silver. It just was able to clear this high. So again, the 100-week average, a major moving average to the Bollinger Band, that was your bottom area. It's nice to look back at it. Nothing said buy, but there were plenty of reasons not to be short, including being oversold. And you're still in the bear camp in the copper. It's oversold. I wouldn't tell clients to deploy new money here, but you're getting something that's going to be very ugly on this chart. The 18-week is getting ready to get under the 200-week. That is not good action. That's another crossover, so got to be careful there. When we look at the platinum, while the daily charts have come back and said, look at it, it's throwing out a buy signal, all you've done is come off the lower band. The resistance on the weekly is pretty strong at 922, up to the 100-week average. And in the dollar, as much as the daily chart is completely stalled out, not the case on the weekly chart, still fully embedded, still acting like it wants to move higher. A warning sign would be getting under 105.55, but if the market gets a reacceleration because of some event I don't know about at this point, got to be careful. Wherever that Bollinger Band is, you could be going to the 107, almost 200 points from here. That's the next stopping spot if a event like that happens. So you got to use your head in these type of times. Understand what you're trading. Understand the difficulty of trading it, and don't get frustrated. As I said, geopolitics come and go very quickly. We write about them. We point them out to you for the whole spectrum of the market. It's not just any one. We cover the markets in detail with numerous reports written during the day and charts, be it option strategies, Be it spread strategies in the market, it'll be on the energies. It's going to be in all the financial markets. We cover them in detail. The grains in detail at this time of the year. The meat markets, because they're eating whatever we're growing there. The soft commodities, El Nino, what's the event going to be there? Our special reports, our technical, you'll get our charts and so on. So how do you get all this? Because this is commodity stuff for commodity guys. It's really simple. You go to our website, iraepstein.com, free offers, sign up for the things you want, do it here. These are not permanent subscriptions for you. They're trials. The permanent subscription, open an account with us, get my research, do things like that, then we can give this to you. In the meantime, I'm Ira Epstein. I thank you for watching. I hope you're learning a little bit about how to trade geopolitics or maybe how not to trade it. That's the difference right now. We will get back to normal soon. I'm Ira. Have a good weekend.